Everybody, welcome to the explanation for Peanuts and George Washington Carver. A little bit different this time. We've got 5 questions, basic comprehension questions, which we'll go through quite quickly. Number 1, how many, so we're looking for a number, how many peanuts are grown every year? Well, look at paragraph 2. Peanuts are popular all over the world. Over 20 million tons are grown per year. So the correct answer is over 20 million tons. Where was the article written? Well, it's an interesting one. It says here in the United States. So because it says the word here, that means that the person that's writing it is currently in the United States. So the correct answer is United States. Why were peanuts good to grow? Well, we're kind of looking at the 4th paragraph. So why did Carver want to grow peanuts? Well, he wanted to save the soil. So number 1, save the soil. Number 2, they make the soil richer. They fix nitrogen into the soil. So anything like this. For this question, you really should have written 2 sentences. One sentence about saving the soil and making it richer. One sentence about fixing nitrogen. Why were the peanuts useful? Okay, so why were they useful? Well, they could make as much cash as cotton, so they were a cash crop. Why were they a cash crop? Because over 300 products. So really for this question, what I'd be looking for is one sentence about making money, about cash, and then one sentence about the products, either over 300 products, or you could use some examples like food, coffee, ink, dyes, soap, wood stain. So one sentence about money, one sentence about products. Then number 5, what 2-word term? 2-word term. So 2 words together describes peanuts. Well, Carver and Peanut were saviors. Any farmer could grow peanuts. Small farmers could plant, grow, and harvest and sell them, big farmers too. This was a cash crop for all. Cash crop is the answer here. Now, a cash crop is something that you grow to sell. In your village, you grow rice to eat. This is not a cash crop. This is a sustenance crop, something that you're going to eat. A cash crop might be something like sugarcane in Thailand, or tobacco, or coffee, something that you grow so that you can sell and make money. Question number 6, our main, broad, narrow question. Which of the following is made more? Now let's look at the subjects. A, peanuts became popular in the United States. B, some crops do good things for the soil. C, by developing uses for peanuts. So we see by looking at the subjects, we have peanuts, some crops, some things that farmers grow, and peanuts. And if we look throughout the passage, we see peanuts, 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 peanut, peanuts, peanuts, peanut. Every single paragraph is talking about peanuts. So this way it says some crops is going to be our broad idea. It's going to be the broad idea because this is not talking about all crops. It's only talking about peanuts. Now, A or C for the main idea. Well, A says they are popular from 1900 until today. So they were grown shortly after 1900 and they are popular. Okay, so that's here and here. But nothing about why they were grown or the products that can be made. C talks about George Carver talks about changing farming in the South? Well, we have George Washington Carver, 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 Carver. Carver is in most of the paragraphs except the first two. And this is about farming, changing from cotton to peanuts. Cotton would take out a lot of nutrients from the soil. Peanuts would make the soil richer. So a lot of this is about farming technique, about the soil. It's also about the farming crops, what type of crops they would grow. It's also about George Washington Carver. So C is going to be the main idea because C includes about Carver and it includes about farming. A is going to be narrow because it's only from these first bits of the passage. It is not about anything later on that includes Carver and how he discovered peanuts were a good crop for people to grow. Now, question 7. What is this passage mostly about? Popular foods? Well, foods is plural. Is it about lots of different foods that people like? Well, we already said that peanuts are in the title and every paragraph. So this is not generally about different types of food that people like, even though we do have some different foods here. This is about the peanut. So we can take away answer A. And B, farming in the South. This is not just about farming, this is about growing the peanut plant. So we can take away answer B. Now C has how peanuts became a popular crop. D, steps in growing peanuts. Steps would be about planting, growing, harvesting, and selling. These would be the different steps. But this is going to be a narrow answer. C is about how it became popular. Here is about peanuts being popular. This is about George Carver seeing a problem. This is about changing to grow peanuts. Answer C is going to be the best answer. Question 8. Carver wanted a substitute for cotton because of what? Well, why did Carver want to work with the peanut? For one reason, he wanted to save the soil. Cotton took too much of its strength. It took nutrients from the soil. So cotton was taking out a lot of nutrients from the soil. It's not because people were hungry, and it's not about making cash. Cotton was also a cash crop that people grew to sell so that people could make clothing, textiles, blankets, etc. Now, C, farmers could not easily sell cotton, is not what it says here. It says that the cotton is taking out many things from the soil. It's making the soil poor. Answer D, cotton took too many nutrients from the soil, is the best answer. Question 9. We can conclude that peanuts what? Are more than just popular baseball snacks? Well, it does talk about baseball snacks at the beginning, but that's not going to be the best answer. Can be eaten with other vegetables. It doesn't talk about other vegetables, so we can take away answer B. Grow only in the South? Well, it says peanuts are popular all over the world. 20 million tons are grown around the world. 1.5 million tons are grown in the South of America. That means other places in the world grow 18.5 million tons. So they're not only grown in the South, they're grown all around the world. But peanuts are a cash crop. Peanuts can be made into many different products. So peanuts will bring in as much cash as cotton. Peanuts will help people to make money. So C is the best answer. 10. Carver promoted the peanut. To explain why Carver promoted the peanut, what does the author do? Does he give steps? No. No. There are no steps in the process, so we can take that away. Does it tell about Carver's life, where he was born, where he grew up, what he did? No. It tells you about Carver, discovering peanut is a good thing to grow. So it's not going to be D. So are we looking at A or C? Is it about giving reasons? Well, look, one reason for this was he wanted to save the soil. Another reason is to prove that peanuts can make as much cash as cotton. So there are reasons about the soil and about money. Answer A is going to be the correct answer. There are problems in the passage, but the problems are the problems that farmers are facing, not problems that Carver was facing. Number 11. What does the word substitute mean? Well, let's look. Carver wanted to find a cotton substitute, and peanut was the answer. So he wants to grow peanuts instead of cotton. He wants to replace growing cotton with growing peanuts. So it's not about being almost the same. Cotton you make into clothing, peanuts you can do many things with. It's about taking the place of something else, replacing something with something else. So the correct answer is answer B. Now, a 5-point summary of this passage. This passage is quite long. There are 7 paragraphs, and we only want to write 5 sentences. So we have to think about the main points. Peanuts are popular is going to be one idea. George Washington Carver must be included. The problem of cotton is also something to include. Making many products should also be something. And changing agriculture in the South would also be one of the important ideas. Now, because this passage is quite long and there's lots of different ideas, I expect that there will be a lot of variety in the summaries that you wrote. Remember though, number 1, you should be focusing on the main ideas. If you include things like 1900, 20 million, then these are details. Number 2, these need to be your own words, not copied from the passage. I'll give you my example, and then you try to score your summary by yourselves and add it to your total. My first sentence is going to be about the popularity. This passage is about, I always start my summary like that, the popularity of peanut plants. So peanuts are popular, peanuts are popular. This is coming from the first 2 paragraphs. The person who introduced peanuts to the South was George Washington Carver. So here is where this idea is coming from. And Georgia is part of the South. You might know that or you might not. Farmers used to grow cotton, but this took a lot of nutrients from the soil. This is the problem. The why. Why did he do this? To save the soil. Cotton took its strength, took the nutrients. He wanted to find a substitute. Peanuts made the soil richer and could be made into many products. Well, it's coming from the end of this paragraph and also it's about here. All of this, these examples I didn't include, but all of this is summarized by this 4th sentence of my summary. I don't need to say cheese, milk, flour, coffee, ink, dye, soap, wood stains. I don't need to give all these examples of the products. I can just say that it was made into many products. Remember, I'm looking at the main points. I'm not looking at the details. And so I end by saying they were saviors, any farmer could grow it, and this caused changes in the South. Therefore, Carver changed the farming practices of the South. 5 sentences, main points only. If you're writing more, if you're writing 7, 8 sentences, if you've got too much information, you will lose marks when you do an exam. Because if your summary is too long, it is not a summary. You can do summaries in 1 sentence. You can do summaries in 2 or 3 sentences. But in this textbook, in this level 2 textbook, we are always trying to write a 5-mark, 5-point summary. If you're writing more than that, then I'm sorry, you are writing too much. Keep going. I know it's difficult, but reading is such an important skill. When you go to university, you will have hundreds of pages to read every week. You need to be able to read. When you're doing GED or TOEFL, reading is a huge skill. And when you go to work, you'll be getting information from donors, from Western organizations. You really need to have highly developed reading skills. So keep working on this, and it will help you a lot for your future life.